What is up, everybody? This is Aaron Hass, and this is the Love Works podcast. I've got a dope guest in the house. He's a good friend of mine. I've known him since I was 18 years old, which was like however many years ago. Not a ton of years ago, but enough of a years ago. You know what I'm saying? He drives things a little bit. He's got his own car, so that's kind of cool. He's got socks on. He's got pants on. Good for him. Good for me. He's got a shirt on. He just got a fresh new haircut. His eyes are the color like blue. So if you're into that, you know who to call. Not yet, because I ain't said his name. Let's see. What else does he do? He used to click a spacebar button for a while, like you would do slides for like events and stuff like that. Yeah, this is my buddy. His name is AJ Deweerd. How are you doing, my man?
Dude, I am doing really, really good. I mean,
yeah,
everything you said was accurate to a T. So,
dude, thank you.
I mean, I was a little worried there. I thought you were gonna go off the rails a little bit, say a bunch of stuff that maybe I don't agree with,
right?
But no, I'm pretty precise.
No,
pretty
dude,
spot on.
I try to be pretty respectful of the people I have on. AJ, dude, so we used to be in ministry together. We were in full-time ministry together. And now we've both gone our separate ways. And we actually haven't talked a bunch, but we live near each other, which is so funny. AJ, like, what are you doing now? Tell the world about what you're doing now.
Man, dude, I had this crazy idea one day that, I wanted to drive a truck for a living. So that's what I do. I'm a regional truck driver based out of Michigan. So I'm not necessarily been to every state in the U.S. per se, but I've been as far west as Nebraska. I've been down to Texas at one point. Go out east quite a bit. I mean, I've been out to Pennsylvania now. I mean, I can't even count the number.
You
of
like
times.
driving in Pennsylvania?
Actually, I do. It's honestly like my favorite state to go through. Because I mean, most of the time, especially when I'm heading out east, the first state I gotta go through is Ohio. And I don't know if you've heard, but Ohio is pretty much the armpit of the Midwest.
Okay,
that's pretty much how it's referred to.
Yeah, I was driving through there recently.
Yeah. So you got to go, in order for me to get out to Pennsylvania, I got to go through Ohio. And Ohio has absolutely nothing going on, pretty much. So you go through, it's flat. There's a few fields here and there, It's
kind of how Maryland is, too, honestly.
Yeah, no, but so then that's what makes Pennsylvania so great. When you get to Pennsylvania, it's mountainous. There's more stuff for you to look at. And quite honestly, it gives me a little bit more of a challenge. Especially when you're driving a truck through the mountains and stuff. I mean, you gotta be on your A game, because I mean, you'll be going up a hill and you'll be so heavy that you might be doing 45 miles an hour.
Okay.
Because you're so heavy. Mm-hmm. And then you get over the hill and then you're going down the hill. And I mean, if you're not paying attention and using your brakes and all that stuff, you could easily hit 80, 90 miles an hour.
I would love to take a trip with you then. That sounds like a roller coaster, honestly.
It is. No, it is for sure.
It just so like a lot of people, they're like travelers, right? So like a lot of people are like, man, I love traveling. I just want to travel and go everywhere in the world. That's like a bucket list item for a lot of people. Do you have like a bucket list or anything?
Man, a bucket list, dude.
Like, what's something that you would want to do before you died?
Yeah. Oh man, Yeah, I mentioned earlier that the company that I'm with, we don't go out west a lot.
Right.
Like, where I'm a regional guy. So honestly, something on my bucket list is to take a trip out west. And I mean, I'm not super specific, like go out to California, go out to,
I would love to go to
Montana, Colorado, all that stuff's fair game, because I mean, like I said, with the traveling I'm doing now, I don't go any further west than like Nebraska. So I mean, that's high on the list to be able to do.
That would be a lot of fun. Do you have any other things like that you're thinking of?
Oh man. I mean, I don't know if it's like a bucket. No, it's not really a bucket list. Dude, I'm a simple guy right now. Like, I'm just gonna be right honest. Like, I'm the kind of guy that's not thinking about all that kind of advanced like bucket list kind of thing. I'm kind of like,
Why so?
I don't know. I think I've never been one to think too hard about the future.
Okay.
And I think,
do you feel like our society right now should be thinking about the future, or do you feel like you're in a place where it's like, wow, it's actually healthier for me to sit back and not think about so far in advance, and you're just living in the present, which probably relieves so much anxiety.
No, it does. I mean, I see benefits in both areas. Like, I think there's definitely benefits to think about the future. Like, I don't think you just want to go through life just kind of willy-nilly in it,
Right.
because usually, I mean, you could end up in a bad place like that. But I think where you don't want to do is start overthinking about it and start hyper analyzing every decision that you have to make now to, create a future that you think you want, which most of the time is not actually the future that you need. It's just what you want it to be. So, being able to know that you have a future, and to make plans, but not hyperfixate on those and worry about every little detail. So there's a balance there, really, is what it comes down to. And that's hard to figure out. I mean, it's something that it's really hard, especially for people in my age group. They're trying to figure out life. I mean, a lot of people in my age group, they're just starting out jobs. They might just be getting out of college. So that can be really tricky for sure to figure out.
Dude, I believe that. And it is tricky, man. For somebody like me that's such a big dreamer, I'm like always thinking about what's the coolest thing I can possibly accomplish. Let me make this happen. I see the anxiety, and it really can attach to you, and you're like, man, you look up and you're like, I'm living in a state of anxiety because now I'm behind on the dreams I have, or whatever it may be. And so I get that.
No, absolutely. I mean, I've seen firsthand, like when I experience that anxiety that you're talking about is usually the times where I'm sitting there, because my job that I do does require me to plan ahead, and that might be like short-term things, and in the grand scheme of things, it's not a huge deal. But whenever I start getting anxious and worrying about those little details, are the times that I'm trying to think hours, days, months in advance as to, and that's when I just kind of got to stop myself and be like, look, you can only control what's happening in the here and now.
Come on. You can only control what's happening right here, right now. I can't put my hand to the plow and start making something happen for the future. Now I can start working, and the future will come.
Yeah.
I like that, man.
Exactly. I mean, that's because
I just got saved.
And that's something I had to learn, and I had to learn really quickly, because way too many times, I mean, especially when I first started out, dude, I was stressed out of my mind because I was sitting there, I was in a tough situation, and I'm thinking about, if this doesn't happen at this time, then I'm not going to make my next thing on time. And then, I'm not going to get my weekend at the end. It's just one thing after another, after another, after another. And eventually I just had to tell myself, you're like, you know what? God's going to take care of it.
Yeah. Come on.
It's, I'm going to control the here and now. And then the plan after that has already been set in place.
That's good.
And I just got to, do the best I can with the resources and time that I got, and go from there, so.
That's right.
Yep.
So from going from a place where you were surrounded with, like, obviously people like me, I guess, or probably not like me. I'm probably different than a lot of people that you grew up around, but Like you went from, man, I've got people around me. I got people around me. I'm now like in a place where there's not a ton of people all the time around me. You're driving a truck. Dude, what does community look like for you now that you're in a spot where it's like, I'm alone?
Yeah, no, that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the hardest things I had to learn, and just grow through. And because it's exactly right. Like that, I knew that was something that was going to have to be a transition that I did,
Right.
but until I actually started going through that, that's when I fully realized, like, okay, no, this is a big deal. Because yeah, I mean, when you're in that truck, I mean, I'm alone from the time that I get into that truck when I start my week to the end of the week. And that's usually how it is. And of course, I call people and talk to people on the phone and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the human interaction, face to face, is really something that I figured out early on that, this is something that I'm going to need if I want to make this job work, long term. Yeah, I mean, this is something I got to have. So, I mean, I got plugged into a college. I mean, I don't know if you call it a college group, but it's like a young adult group at my church.
Nice, man.
And yeah, no, that was really good. I mean, I was in a spot a few years ago where I was kind of, the church that I had been attending for the last, man, I don't even know how many years, pretty much when I was growing up, I went to this church probably for the last 18 years of my life or something like that.
Yeah. So
I was in a period where I was actually looking for a different church to attend. And I mean, there were. Can
I ask a question before you finish this? Sorry to cut you off. Do you ever, or have you ever questioned what faith looked like for you? You mentioned church, and I always am curious for people that you grew up in the church and then you jumped into ministry.
Yeah.
And you're also an intellectual human being. Like you're analytical in your mindset. And so, did you ever question if church was actually going to work for you?
Man, it would definitely be a lie to say that I never question it. Everyone is going to have doubts about what they believe in and what their faith looks like. And I think honestly, that was one of the biggest things that I wrestled with when I was starting to, make that decision to, I'd been going to this church for a long time. I was looking to go to a different church. And I think for a long time, I mean, the reason I was going to this church to begin with is this is the church my parents went to. This is the church that our family went to.
Yeah.
So I think part of that was almost establishing my faith and not relying completely on my parents' faith. And then that, because they're going to their church, and there was nothing wrong with that church, and it's still a good church, but there were just things that, I, was having trouble with. And, one of them being, it was a very traditional church. And with that, there was a lot of, especially like the worship style, is very traditional. There were a lot of hymns being sung, and the kind of music that sometimes you're just sitting there singing the words and you're like, I don't even know what I'm singing sometimes,
I get that.
So, I was looking for more of like contemporary worship style. And then, going back to that community thing. Again, with this church being traditional, the age group that I fit into, as far as other people that I could interact with at that church, there weren't any. And I mean, it makes sense because, like I was saying earlier, the age group that I'm in, most are off to college, most are moving away anyway. They're going off, starting their own lives, getting married, having kids, the whole shebang, right? But it was still, I mean, it was a big challenge because I would be on the road. I'd come back on a weekend. I'd be able to go to church in the morning, and then I get to church and there's nobody there to interact with. And I was just sitting there one day and I'm like, I cannot keep doing this. So yeah, no, I have recently, within the last couple of years, found a new church to go to, First Church of God in Stevensville, and it's definitely beginning to check off those boxes that I've had. Is I'm seeing the worship style is a lot more easy for me to engage with, more upbeat, contemporary. They got the drums going. I'm sitting there, it's. So I've been able to connect a lot better with that. And then, the group I was talking about earlier, I've been able to get plugged in with that. Of course, if I had it my way, I'd like to meet a lot more. They usually meet on like Tuesday nights.
You're normally traveling on Tuesday
and
nights.
Usually on Tuesday nights, I'm somewhere in the state of Pennsylvania or something, So it's still been a challenge in that regard, but to just be able to be in an environment that has more people for me to, engage with and just talk with. It doesn't even have to be about work, because I know a lot of people are not going to relate to what I do. I mean, I know that, but no, that's been really good to find that community that I have, and it's still something that I'm working through, and because it's still a challenge. There's a lot of things that I still can't go to because, like I said, I'm out working, and that could be something that changes in the future, but it's definitely an improvement now in that regard versus like a couple years ago when I was really starting to miss that. So,
man, so I find it really interesting that the same question comes up, like from even being a truck driver to now being in your church setting to probably maybe even as a kid. Am I alone in this journey? Like, there's got to be something more for me here. I want to find community. Yep. So you're definitely a people person. I can tell that because even in the relationships we had, being on like in ministry together, I just saw it, and I see that you care about people. And even though you don't put on the front all the time, like you can tell that you're you're an emotional person. Like you're able to, like whenever something hard is happening, man, you're going to be that person that's there for somebody. And it might be awkward for you. I have no idea. It might be really awkward for you in those moments.
Oh, it is. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
But I can see it in your heart that you feel that emotion.
Yeah.
As a kid, what was your biggest fear?
Man, as a kid, my biggest fear, dude. Honestly, like I think as a younger kid, I had a lot of social anxiety.
Yeah.
Which is really ironic. Talking about this now, like my desire for community now, as a younger kid, I would start to get a lot of fear whenever I started thinking about especially like with friends of mine. Like I was worried about fitting in a lot. And that was a big fear of mine. Like I'd get ready to go hang out with friends. I'm like, all right, how are they gonna groove with me? Am I gonna groove with them? Is everything gonna be hunky dory in that regard? So yeah, like the hours leading up to those events where I'd get together with people, I'd have some fear going there and some anxiousness. And, so, I mean, it has, in that regard, it's been encouraging to then jump forward to where I am now and to have more of a desire for that.
Yeah. Come on.
Versus having a fear of it.
You're stepping into the uncomfortable.
Right. And I think that's one of the huge blessings of doing the job that I do is I saw that ripped away very instantly. And then, I saw real quickly, I'm like, okay, this is not the way that I want to live my life long term, to just be isolated from humanity and all that, all that stuff. So to be pulled away from that made me realize like instantly how much I actually need it.
Mm.
And then, so then it's made me want to dive and make every effort that I can into having it. Because, yeah, I mean, as a young kid, I mean, I'd want to hang out with people, but I'd have a lot of, fear and anxiety and stuff like that. So, no, that's been really encouraging to see the growth there for me. So
That's awesome, man. So for the person listening to this episode right now, and they're searching for that community, and they're searching for the place that they can find relationships, what are you going to tell them for that busy person that's driven by achieving and driven by goals and making things happen? What are you going to tell them right now?
yeah, dude. To those people that are goal orientated, that are, go getters, always striving, always almost got the blinders on going here. I mean, the first step, I think, would just be to stop and look around a little bit and take a step back and understand that, I mean, going back to that future thing, you don't always have to be push forward. Like for me, I mean, my connection to get into that church that I'm going to now is I had a friend from elementary school who led worship at this church. So for the first step for me was, okay, I want to go hang out with this friend. Let's go see what this church is about. And so I did that, and, kind of after that, one thing kind of led to another, and then I got plugged into the church. But I mean, a lot of the times it's just as simple as, I mean, for me, especially in my fast-paced job, it's really easy for me to just put the blinders on and just, okay, work during the week, come home, get groceries for the next week, yada, yada, get ready for the next week, go out, work. Go, I mean, it's just that constant pattern. So for me, just to like pump the brakes a little bit, no pun intended.
Yeah, dude, we're going up to Pennsylvania.
Yeah. To pump the brakes a little bit. Yeah. To just like stop for a bit and recognize the opportunities that you do have.
Come on.
Because if you don't, you're just going to miss them, and then you'll be in the constant cycle of just being isolated from people. And I mean, that's no fun. So yeah.
I think I miss it too sometimes. I'm always like on the go. Like I want to make the thing happen. Like I've realized this recently, like I find a lot of my worth in doing things for people so that they will love me. Like I've always thought that love was transactional.
Yeah.
And love isn't transactional.
Nope.
Love is like, it's the trendy thing, but love is simply loving someone else.
Yep.
You don't have to put guardrails on that. Or like you were mentioning, you don't have to have those blinders on saying, oh, I'm going to get this thing done. Like, man, isn't it more fun with people though? Like doing things with people, enjoying life with people. Man, we were always surrounded by people.
Yep.
And then even in that, for me, being in ministry, dude, coming out of ministry, it's a culture shock.
Yeah.
You never know what you're going to be getting into that next day. You're like, oh man, I'm in this like panic mode. Like, why am I not doing? I got to do something. Yeah. Let me, I'm not writing a message right now. Like I had my blinders on in there because I'm like, I got to get this done. I'm going to be the best preacher. I'm going to be the best youth leader. I'm going to be the best musician. I'm going to be the best this. And then you're like, yeah, but I'm the worst friend.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like I have no friends.
Right. I'm
all alone in this journey. And now you're looking up like, I need some community. Mm-hmm. Where's my community? Mm-hmm. And I appreciate people like you, man, because even today I was struggling with a little bit of anxiety, as in a little bit, like a lot of bit. And I was like, I need to rest. I need to rest hardcore. I need to clean some stuff up at my apartment before I have somebody over here. And I texted you twice. I was like, hey, let's meet an hour later than I planned. And then I was like, actually, let's meet one more hour later because I'm going to take a nap. And you want to know what you did? You said, let's do it. Let's make it happen. That's cool. Yep. And that's why I say you care about people. And I appreciate people like that, man. You're a real one, real friend. Are you addicted to caffeine, bro?
Dude, that's a good question. Because I feel like that's the general stereotype with all truck drivers. Is
Right.
We are just like addicted to something, whether it be caffeine,
Or cocaine.
you name it, cocaine.
Caffeine or cocaine for truck drivers, dog.
Yeah, no, gotta get the job done somehow, No, early on, I mean a little bit here and there. I found out really quickly that like an energy drink for me it does not work well. I mean, if I do have one, it's gotta be like, I mean, no more than like maybe 200 milligrams or something, maybe even less than that. Because if I have like the big one with like the 300 plus milligrams, I mean, I am literally sitting in that driver's seat, just bouncing off walls.
Dude.
Like I'm sitting there like, dude, I have got to get out of this truck and like run 5 laps around it. Because if I don't, I'm going to like
explode.
Spontaneously combust. It's like, so, I mean, every once in a while, I use it because, I mean, the schedule that I run during the week, I mean, one day I could be getting up and starting my day at like normal time, like 8 a.m. And then the next day I got to be driving at 2 a.m., So there's times like that where it's like, okay, either I am alert, I need to have a little caffeine and I do my job decently well.
Right.
Or I'm half asleep. And in that case, then there's always a risk of putting the truck in the ditch. And nobody wants that.
No, you don't want that.
No.
And nobody around you wants that.
Nobody else. So I'm doing my best to not get hardcore addicted to that stuff because I know like long term it's not the greatest for you.
Right.
But
okay, don't say that. Don't say that about. Don't be telling people that because like I don't really want people to be like,
you don't want that message going.
Yeah, dude.
out,
People always are like, Aaron, you're addicted to caffeine. I'm like, okay, like I only have like 19 cups of coffee a day. I'm not even hitting 20.
It's perfectly fine.
Yeah,
no,
I don't even really. I don't drink coffee. It's more like crack, honestly.
Dude, I've never been into coffee. I've never been a coffee guy. If I do drink coffee, which is, I mean, that's a rare occasion as it is, but it's like 90% other stuff.
Oh, you do
creamer?
Creamer?
Yeah, no. Like I gotta make.
What's your favorite creamer?
Like literally just yesterday, on my way back from Ohio, I was like, dude, we got to get some breakfast. So I pulled in to this McDonald's and I got me a like a breakfast sandwich and one of those caramel frappuccinos.
Oh, the Starbucks ones?
I mean, whatever McDonald's is cooking up over there.
Oh, yeah, you're at McDonald's?
Yeah,
McDonald's. For some reason,
No, caramel frappe at McDonald's, yeah.
Yeah, frappe.
Yeah, and I was like, that is the closest thing to coffee I will ever get.
Oh, so a milkshake.
Pretty much.
A milkshake with a little bit of light to it,
a little bit of zap to it, but it's not
zap.
It's
that's
not
a
much.
good word.
A little zap to it.
Little to it.
Yep.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, I remember when I drank those. I don't know. Yeah, we used to go to the McDonald's and get breakfast when I was a kid.
Oh yeah.
And recently, I have gotten into the habit of finding foods I ate as a kid and eating them just for the memories. I'm not joking. I have not had Mike and Ike's in a long time. And I bought Mike and Ike's because my mom and I used to eat Mike and Ike's together. And I'm like, I want to remember these memories I had with my mom. Let me eat this. What else was it that I had the same thing with? It was something. Oh, the orange slices.
Oh yeah.
Like the orange slice candies. Yep. You know what I'm talking about?
The candies. Okay. Yeah. Like the gummies?
The gummy ones.
Yeah.
Those I've got memories with.
Yeah.
Let's see. I saw hot tamales and I had some memories with those, but I didn't get them because hot tamales kind of suck.
Dude, I have some I think mine would be animal crackers.
Really?
Whenever I get every once in a while, I'll get me a bag of animal crackers to have in the truck during the week. Those bring back solid memories because we'd always have those things in the house.
Does it remind you of opening Amazon boxes? Because they taste like cardboard.
Come on, no. Okay, now we gotta differentiate here. Okay, you got the regular ones, and you got the frosted ones.
You get frosted ones?
The frosted ones. Regular ones are still okay. They do not taste like cardboard. You must be getting the wrong animal crackers.
I don't eat animal crackers because I love
I eat
real
things.
food like gummies.
I eat roof. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure. Real food. Yeah.
Let's see what else is there. Dude, like fried rice. That always is a memory, dude. I love fried rice. It brings back memories.
Yep.
So
good stuff for sure.
Yeah, man. So all right. So you are you're 23. Am I right?
Ding, ding, ding. You are correct. Yep.
I banged that one on the head. That's good. You're 23, bro. The question everybody asks people our age. You know the question.
I don't know. I get a lot of stereotypical questions, so
You're 23 years old.
Yeah.
When are you blank? What's the question?
Is it getting married?
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, I do definitely get that question a lot.
I know, dude.
And the thing that I tell people right now is it's just honestly not on my radar. Yeah. Heck yeah. It's just not. I mean, first off, I'm doing a job right now that makes it very difficult to pursue relationships.
Right.
And I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I knew that going in. That's not like a shocking fact. But yeah, no, the reality is, even if I had a relationship going into this job, it would be very difficult to sustain that. And there are a lot of guys in this industry that do. There are a lot of truck drivers that they're gone for months at a time, and then they've got families back at home. And I mean, I sit there and wonder all the time how they do that, because I mean, it's really hard. It's really hard to meet somebody
right
in the industry I'm doing. And if you do meet somebody in the industry, it's usually not somebody that you want that you want to marry. But
you about to meet somebody named Richard.
Well, lot lizards, that's a real thing. But
have you had that experience before?
I get that question a lot too. Thankfully, haven't had it yet.
Dude, let me know your next truck stop,
but
and
it's
I'll try
really
and holler at you.
There's amidst the trucking community, there's like a list of stops that you absolutely never want to stop at for that very reason.
Really?
And I pretty much memorized that list at this point. I'm like, okay, we're not.
I would try and stop there.
Stopping there. We're not stopping there. Like, no, we're not doing that.
I would love to meet one.
But
dude, I've heard so much about you. Thank you so much. This is such an honorable moment for me. Thank you so much for letting me meet you.
Exactly. Yeah. No. See, the problem is, a truck that I drive has cameras everywhere. So,
listen, no, I don't want to do anything with these
people.
Okay. I just want to be like, you're a legend. Like, I've never seen a lot lizard, and I've always wondered.
Yeah.
What a funny name for just a prostitute, basically.
It pretty much is. I mean, it's from what I understand, it is a real issue. It's just I have been fortunate enough to not have to deal with that, and I'll be perfectly happy if I never have to deal with that at all.
Right, you never know. Yeah, that is crazy. So, so it's not even on your radar.
Yeah, no. Going back to that, I mean, it's just not something. I mean, it's not like I'm in a space right now where I'm just shutting down all opportunities for that.
Right.
But I am not in a spot where I am actively pursuing it.
Okay.
So, I mean, and I think, there's several reasons for that. First off, in some respects, I don't even know if I'm ready for a relationship. Even if I wasn't doing this job, I mean, there are a lot of people that are in my age group, a lot of friends that I have that they're married, they have kids, and, I respect them a lot. But, I mean, some part of me just thinks, I'm not quite ready for that. And, that's perfectly fine.
Right.
But, yeah, I think right now, for me to be in a spot where that's something that I want to pursue, I think my job situation has to change a little bit.
Okay.
And there are many different ways that could look. Maybe I completely leave this industry altogether. Maybe I kind of do more of a local thing where I'm home more regularly.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, when I meet somebody, I want to, I want to be invested in that.
Right.
I mean, I think that's really important. And with the job that I do, I mean, it can be done, but it's really, really hard to be invested in a relationship, wanting to make that work, and at the same time, working your butt off week to week, working long hours, being away from home for at least a week.
Right.
So those two things, I mean, they can be done, but it's just, I mean, it's a really, really hard challenge. So,
dude, I fully believe that.
Yep.
I believe that. That's got to be a tough challenge. Like you're not ever in the same spot a lot of times, which is cool, and that's some people's dream.
Yeah.
But also like even in the crazy, wild, beautiful dream, stability helps with your mental state.
Oh yeah.
Also, I'm gonna jump into this. This isn't even a question. I'm just gonna promote my website a little bit. Hey, if you haven't checked out the LoveWorks website, loveworks.cc, hey, you can get some dope merchandise. You can get some dope hats, dope shirts, dope hoodies. The hoodies are my absolute favorite. I literally have people text me all the time like, man, this is the softest hoodie in the world.
They're also pink.
Yeah, dude, they're pink.
Bonus.
Bro. They are pink. They're pink. And maybe I'll get some made that said like Love Works, and then on the back it says Lot Lizard. That'd be really funny. Local Lot Lizard.
That's gonna create a situation where you're gonna get a lot of questions. I mean, that's
good.
I mean that. In some regard, yeah.
Any publicity is good publicity, right?
Yeah, sure.
That's marketing 101 right there.
Yeah,
seriously,
100%.
So yeah, check it out, loveworks.cc, and you can get some dope merchandise. I'm not wearing any right now, but if I was, this episode would probably be better. I'm just kidding. This is a great episode with my buddy AJ Deweerd. AJ, what's your favorite movie?
Favorite movie. Okay. Well, my nerd status is about to come through. But I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I was a huge, and still am a huge Fast and Furious fan.
Yeah, dude. So, all right, I love asking people what their favorite movie is because I want to know why it's your favorite movie. Like, not even just like, oh man, this is so beautifully made, but like, do you relate to the movie?
Well, it's almost cliche to say this.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I was the kid that was always playing with the toy cars and toy trucks. I mean, that was my jam. Mm-hmm. I actually built a city out of cardboard and roads out of cardboard, and then constructed this and put it in my basement. And then,
so animal crackers?
I might have had a few of those down there too, And I'd play with my cars down there. I'd be down there for hours doing
That's
my thing.
Awesome, man.
So, and I've always been kind of a little bit of a car guy. I mean, I like cars. I mean, I'm not like hardcore, like, ask me what every single part in a car is and I'll tell you kind of deal. Right. But so, when this friend of mine told me about this movie that like solely revolved around fast cars, I was like, okay, sign me up. So,
yeah.
I want, there's always part of me that wants to say like I really connected with the characters and I was like really felt the message of the movie, but it's really just like when I want to chill out for a little bit and just kind of relax, just watching people street race with cars and breaking the law and all that good
come
stuff.
on, dude. A little thug in AJ Deweerd.
So, yeah. So I'd have to say Fast and Furious for sure.
I think it's cool though, like, because it relates to your career now.
It sort of does. I mean,
you're in the vehicle industry, bro.
Yeah. But the thing is, like, I'm by no means going very fast. I mean, my truck tops out at 65 miles per hour. I mean, I can have my foot to the floor. That sucker is not going any faster than 65. And usually
so everyone around you hates you, bro.
Yeah, no, usually I have to obey all
the slowest my car can go.
Dude, it's ridiculous. I mean, I really do wish that we could go a little faster than that, but hey, there's a bunch of different reasons for that. But
yeah, that's fair. Also, have you seen all 400 of them?
Dude, I have, and multiple times, actually, believe it or not.
Really? What's your favorite one?
Favorite one has got to be Furious 7.
Okay, I hadn't seen any of them, honestly.
Yeah, you're good.
I know Vin Diesel's in them.
Oh, yeah.
Is that his real name or is that his thing name?
You know, and I just saw this the other day. I was like scrolling through Instagram or something. His name is not actually Vin Diesel, and I didn't know that for the longest time. But I couldn't tell you what his name actually is. I wish I could.
You're a super fan and you don't even know
But
his real name.
I know, dude.
Everybody calls him Vin Diesel, though.
Yeah, no,
I think that's what they call him.
Yeah, no, everybody does. Like, you see him on the street, the big muscular guy, he's bald. Yeah.
You ever met him before?
No.
Be cool. Maybe we'll try and
That
get
would
him
be
on the
cool.
podcast.
Yeah, no. Definitely sign him up for an episode. That'll be a good episode for sure.
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be like listening to it. I'm gonna have like 100 million views on the episode, and you're gonna be like 900 million of them.
Heck
oh wait,
yeah.
that didn't add up.
Wait.
Because I said 900 million. That'd be 900,000. Wait, 100 million.
I don't even know. What number did you say before?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Something
hey, this
nil.
is not a math podcast. So
It's not, bro. It's not.
It don't matter what we say when it comes to math. So.
Dude, I'm feeling so relaxed. That nap hit me, bro. Are you a nap taker?
Dude, I have to be doing the job that I gotta every once in a while, you just pull over real quick, take a quick 45-minute, usually not that long, good 20-minute power nap.
Yeah.
Because my sleep schedule sometimes is really messed up. So every once in a while you have to, because otherwise you're gonna start nodding off, and that's when bad things happen.
I get that, man.
So yeah.
I did that. I slept at the gas station probably 2 nights ago. Because I was like, I don't really want to drive the rest of the way home. So I just parked at the gas station, slept there, went into work the next day.
Fair enough. Over at JD's?
No, it wasn't at JD's. JD's truck stop is a cool gas station. But no, it was Speedway. I think it was a Speedway.
Okay. Speedway's they're pretty respectable.
I went in there, grabbed myself a couple snacks, and then ate them and went to bed.
Yep.
Just parked right outside the place.
That's the way to do it. That is a way to do it.
And then just drove in to clean some stuff the next day, because I'll be cleaning things for work now. But yeah, dude, can you tie your shoes quickly? Are you a quick shoe tire?
Yeah, that's really funny too, because my shoes are actually laceless.
Oh, do you know how to tie?
So, I'd like to say that I do, but at this point, who even knows? Because, I just don't hardly ever tie my shoes anymore because I don't have to.
I get that.
It's kind of, I don't know. It might be a little bit eye-opening for me when I get a pair of shoes that requires me to tie, and I go look at it, and what do you do?
You can practice on my shoes, man, if you ever need to.
That sounds good.
Yeah,
I might end up taking you up on that one, because
yeah, dude.
I don't want to be the guy that doesn't know how to tie his shoes. So
We've all been that guy at some point.
Yeah. Yep.
So
absolutely.
Yeah, man. I'm starting a new trend. I say started. I literally haven't started yet, but I planned on starting it this episode, where at the end of every episode, I ask my guests, they can ask me any question. What question do you want to ask me? And I will not cut it out of the episode.
So everything's fair game, huh?
Everything's fair game, man.
Man, I've always been curious as to what was your thought process when you decided you were going to make this podcast?
Great question.
Yep. That's what I want to know. Because every time I hear listen to the episodes, I'm like, okay, I want to know what was the moment that he had the idea to, get this thing going.
I was sitting in my car. I had just gotten off the phone with my mom, or actually I was about to call my mom, and I was like, I think I was in like an emotional spot. Like, man, people don't even know who I am. Like, I've been hiding so much of me. And then I was thinking, there's so many people out there that haven't told their story. And I value vulnerability, because I used to preach the best messages are vulnerable, relatable, and have application. And I was like, man, I can communicate well. I'm entertaining. And I have vulnerability in some of my aspects of life, but I'm not utilizing that. Like, the greatest thing you can tell is your story with full honesty. And so I was like, what kind of platform could I use to make that happen? Boom. There it is. So that's my heartbeat behind it. I have dreams of taking this to a super high level, like number one on the platform, like Mr. Beast level. Like it's impossible to beat, like
Heck
to surpass it.
Yep.
But like I want there to be people up top with me. I'm not doing it because I want to be the greatest podcaster in the world. I don't care about that. I'm doing it because I want to supply people opportunities to get back on their feet again. There's so many people out in this world that are hurting, that are addicted, that are homeless, that need a place to live. And I'm saying, let's make them have a place that they can come. And so one of my dreams, and I haven't shared this on the podcast, but really who cares right now? I'll say it. Like, I'm going to spoil the punchline, but I have a dream of purchasing a hotel by being funded through this podcast. And I want to house people. I want to have therapists on staff. I want to have people just all over being able to come in and say, now I've got a place to live. We get people on their feet, get people jobs. I would love to hire people out for this podcast, help with video editing, even create jobs for them. And let's see this world change, man. Like, let's make this world it's not even about making it a better place. Let's make their world more peace-filled.
Yeah. Yep.
And that's why I'm going to keep pushing forward with this and not give up.
No, I think that's I mean, just I think creating the opportunity and the platform for people to do that in itself, just to have that, I mean, that already is just a monumental thing, because there's plenty of people out there that have things that they want to tell and stories that they want to tell, but I mean, they don't really have an opportunity to tell them. They're kind of just like, man, I've got this, but it's kind of like, okay, I mean, this isn't the right environment. I mean, where do I go share this?
Right.
So to have this, I mean, that alone is going to help. I'm sure that right there is all it takes for many people to get on and just kind of start talking about and sharing their story. So, that's really good.
Dude, thank you so much. I'm excited.
It's good stuff
for where this is gonna go. I'm thankful for where y'all have brought it already. All the listeners, everybody out there. I'm thankful for everybody that listens. I'm thankful for everybody that's liked this episode on whatever platform you listen to it. If you give us a 5-star rating on Spotify, like, that helps us tremendously. If you share this with a friend, it helps us tremendously. If you follow us on Instagram at LoveWorks MVT Movement, that's what MVT stands for. LoveWorks MVT. Like, that helps us because it's propelling us into something bigger. And I'm thankful. Like, I seriously am. I'm so grateful for each guest that comes on, and I've had some dope opportunities to connect with some dope people. And like, this is more than just, man, I'm gonna preach to you. I'm not even preaching. Like, dude, I'm just having conversations with dope people, and we're seeing some dope things happen. So yeah, man, check this episode out, share it with a friend. Thank you, AJ, for coming on, man. You got any final thoughts for everybody?
Oh, it's just yeah, no, I think we hit it all on the head. I mean, really what it boils down to is taking that next step, you know? Like, I think the biggest thing that I hit on earlier is if you're in a spot where you're having a hard time with connecting with people.
Right.
Sometimes it is literally as easy as to just stop, look around, recognize the people that you might have that can connect you with others, and then just kind of let God take control after that, and just kind of steer things in the right direction. Because a lot of the times you're not getting that connection just because you're not looking for it, and you're kind of in your own little zone. And I mean, I get it. I get why that's the case. I mean, I struggled with that for a long time, and it can be really hard to take those blinders off. But I mean, once you do, good things can happen. So,
man, that's awesome.
Yep.
Thank you all so much for listening. AJ, thank you for coming on this episode. This is a dope episode.
Absolutely.
And man, peace.
Peace out.
Out.